It's nice of all of you to be here. I appreciate it. I am going to also share my screen. So if it looks like I'm looking away, I'm not really looking away. I'm looking at the screen where this is. And this is a sample case. I'm going to go through several things and things that I've seen that I feel are important that you should know about. So let me hear. Perfect. All right. First thing I want to go through, you may have heard some of this before, but I'll say it again, maybe it's for the first time. Some updates that are coming, hopefully by Labor Day. I know that sounds like it's far off, but it seems like yesterday I was wishing everybody Merry Christmas. In fact, just in case I forget, Merry Christmas, everybody, because that's how fast time goes by. All right. So, the updates that are coming. First of all, as you see an account type, no matter whether it's pre-tax, unqualified, or tax-free, there's always an other. We are going to be adding a free form. So if you choose other, you can type in what it is. So if you have a lot of others and you want to be able to delineate what it is, you'll be able to do that. Secondly, on the fact find, as you can see, you click the eye, remember the fact find is there. By the way, I have a fillable PDF version. Let me remind you, you click export PDF and the entire fact find comes up in a PDF format. I have a fillable version. If for whatever reason you do not have it, email me and let me know. I'll be happy to send it to you. Could have one. In the chat box, again, I have put my phone number. A lot of people call me, and Pello called me, I got to admit, and I didn't call him back. You have no idea how bad I feel about that. I'll get over it, but I still feel bad. But many other people, and by the way, David, I got your email. I already spoke to Eric. I thought he meant something else. David Torres. I know what he meant, and I'll handle that. In all seriousness, though, my phone number's there. It is my cell. Call me when you need me. Now, if you're on the West Coast and it's 6 o'clock your time, you're like, crap, it's 9 o'clock his time. Who cares? Call me or text me. If I can't talk, I'll let you know, or I won't answer the phone. 2 in the morning, as many of you have heard me say, 2 in the morning, I might have a problem with. But wouldn't it be funny if I picked up? But otherwise, I get to we're in Fort Lauderdale, so obviously coast. I get here at 7:15 every day, and for that matter, that means I'm in my car by about 6:30, and 5, 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock, 6:15 is when I leave. But if it's like I said, 9 o'clock my time, you need help, reach out. I'm happy, truly happy to help, except clearly in Pillows' case, and he's never going to let me live it down. All right. On the PDF, though, we're going to have some changes. Some of them you might know about. For instance, your monthly income is needed to maintain your current lifestyle. That's going to change to what do you spend in a month to maintain your lifestyle. And this question, what monthly income would you like to receive during retirement, is going to be what would you like to spend in retirement to avoid living a just-in-case retirement. All right. Some of that might sound like familiar, like Tom Hegner, because it is. All right. Now, this is very important, and I wanted to go over it. I see a lot of time, and another thing, especially for those of you, whether you're new or not new, text me at any time, email me, and you know what, I'm going to put in here as well. My apologies. You probably already have it, but there's my email as well. You're working on a case, maybe it's not urgent, and you're like, hey, I wonder if I've done everything I could. Email me, Scott, look at the case, tell me if I could have done something different, better, whatever. I'm happy to, at least a half a dozen, it's actually getting to 10 to 12 times a day. I get emails like that, and I'll go in, look at it, and there are many times where thumbs up, well done, good job. And sometimes where I'm able to tweak it and make it a little better and tell you what I did. But I'm more than happy to do it. Just try not to do it. If you don't mind, Don't do it at 10 of 9 and the appointment's at 9. That might be problematic, but if you could. And even then, most of the time, I'll still probably get to it. But that's something that I offer to all of you. I am really, truly, I don't just say it. I really am happy to help. And if you get sick of me saying that, I don't blame you. Now, this is something I see with goals a lot. In this case, we have two, and maybe you remember because this is the sample I ran when I ran when we did our training, and that was, hey, they're spending $5,000 a month now in retirement. They want to have $8,500 of spending. Okay, which great, but so many times I'll see something along the lines of whatever it is they want to spend, but it doesn't start till say 2030. I have to tell you that you have to always put in spending now and in the future. And as because let's face it, if right now people are spending money. I mean, maybe they don't have any expenses, but they're still going out to eat. They're still buying groceries. They're still hopefully paying their electric bill, et cetera, et cetera. So you can't say, all right, I just want to see what this looks like starting in 2030 to 58, because it's going to be huge. Okay. Either I'm on drugs or that was psychedelic.
No, I heard it too.
Oh, you did? Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Hey,
no,
Tony, how are you? Good,
I'm
good,
good. How are
glad you're
you?
here. Wonderful. Everybody, 20, everybody. But like I said, you really have to make sure, remember my big takeaway in all of our training, goals is equal to spending, total spending. All right, that's expenses, that's going out to eat, that's going to home goods. And what's my joke when I say that? Obviously, I'm married, but goals is total spending. But that means that we've got to have total spending starting now through whatever year you want to run it to. All right. It won't work. It'll be skewed. Won't be right. If you say, well, let me just do it starting in 2030. They're still spending money now till then. And what'll happen if there's any excess, as many times there is, that will show up and be added and we'll throw it off. All right. Enough said on that. All right. Social Security, everybody's favorite topic. Let me show you something you can do with Social Security. In the training, I ran Social Security to age 100. And the reality is, are people going to, both live to age 100? Well, maybe they could, but the reality is they're probably not. Let me just put it back to where it was. But so let me explain this. Let me look at it. So here's Social Security, running it to in this case they're 65, so I'm running it 2058, which is age 100. Save it and do it again real quick. And everybody hopefully is seeing this screen. And as you can see, we got a 61 to 96% outcome. Great. Remember, this is the star of the show. All good. But remember also, I ran Social Security, both of them to age 100. Well, what if you wanted to do it differently? Remember also, for accounts, for income, there's no limit to the number of lines you can do. And I didn't mean like cocaine. I mean, you could have, as many as you need. So just so you know. So like Social Security, let's run it to say age 85, which would be 2043. And have, unfortunately, let's say he dies. I feel that way because I think my wife is trying to kill me, but that's besides the point. And then you can put in, especially if you know the numbers, you can put in, well, if he dies, she would get somewhere like 2250. So, pardon me, I am sorry. So 2044, 2058. And this way, you were modeling both of them getting Social Security, but at age 85, he is the survivor. What happens? Basically, hey, I'll be okay on my own. They got 1.2 million in this case, because that's the sample I always use, and it's based on a real case. Somebody, if you wouldn't mind muting your phone or your computer, I don't know who it is. Okay, whatever. But it shows that by making that tweak, the Social Security went from 96 to 84. I mean, 84 is still pretty good, and it's almost 60% better than the current. But it does allow you, or that is an example of how you can be, shall we say, a little more realistic with what will most likely happen. And then you could say, well, I'm running him to age 100. Clearly, if he's unfortunately passed at age 85, let me take it down to age 95. I think that'll be a little more realistic as well. Therefore, well, that went back up to 60, but that's now back at 95. Remember something else very important. There are only, hold on a second. There are only two things you can control. And one of my takeaways when I did this was FMS. What is that? Facts, math, and science. It's their fact. Hopefully, whoever it is somebody have a question? Okay. It's their fact. So, I've actually been on calls in which the client has kind of argued it. And I'm like, you're kind of arguing with yourself because it's your facts, not mine. And then it's math and science, FMS, math and science of the Monte Carlo simulation, which casinos use. They don't argue with themselves. They just take your money, so this is showing in that situation. And what's more is, and you have to be careful, I've said it before, some of you were on training today, you can truly have analysis paralysis here because you can run a lot of simulations and make yourself nuts. So you want to be careful. One thing I want to, I think I've done this before, but I'm not sure, is, remember, goals is spending. This is very, very, very powerful. What do I mean? For those of you who do long-term care, what can we do here? Well, on an annual basis, I'm sure none of you have heard somebody say, I'll self-insure. I'll take care of my spouse. Don't worry about it. Okay, I'm not worried, but let's take a look at that. Let's presume that something happens. For that matter, 100,000, you can see where I'm going. 50,000 for home health care, assisted living facility, 100,000 for the nursing home, which I'm going to tell you right now is not going to cover a nursing home. Most of it maybe, but definitely not all of it. It's just coming in. Go. All right. So what does that look like? Go ahead, self-insure. Take a look at that. You can use this to be able to show people what would happen if they self-insure. Remember, it's cold. It takes feelings out of it. I feel like I'll self-insure. I feel I'll be okay. All righty. I'll self-insure. I think I'll make, I got 1.2 million. I got 4,500 in Social Security in today's dollars. I think I'll be okay. You might want to rethink that. This may be cold, and math and science can be cold, but it's telling you the truth. You've got a 12% chance of making it. And it's your facts. I put in your fact, and there's the difference. If you follow my prescription, in this case, by the way, the prescription is one other thing we're going to do. It drives me crazy, so it's probably driving you crazy, that you got to hit future adjustments and the up arrow to get into future adjustments. What is coming is that you don't have to click anything. It'll just go into it, Also, you see there's a COLA and a breakout COLA for Social Security. There will be a third COLA by Labor Day, I hope by Labor Day, for pensions, okay? That's a big one. I know. If I were Arnold, I'd go, that's a big one. I did it better than him. Okay. So in this case, we did an FIA as a volatility buffer. We did a GIA just with 100,000. We did life insurance with 12,500 premium for 10 years, so it's a 10 pay, and we did a Roth conversion. And by doing all of those things, and with them self-insuring, they have a 12% chance of making it to age 95. Okay, to age 95, they've got a 12% chance. So if I round it to 100, do you think it's going up or down? But if they follow what you suggest, they've got a 75% chance. I could have had a V8. Boy, am I dating myself. All right. I
Scott,
get this
did
a
you see the
lot.
question in the chat?
Oh, no, hold on a second. I apologize. Give me a second. What is the future column representing? You mean on this? Is this what you mean? Whoever asked that question? Was it Tawny? What is it? Oh, I did answer it? Okay, good. Thanks, Tawny. Yeah, that's, what's the probability? This is keep going the way you're going. This is do what I'm suggesting. And again, and I've said this in all the training, you're not asking them to spend more money. You are simply taking the assets that they have and doing something different with them. Tweaking it, reallocating, or what you will. But in this example, not once have I asked somebody to spend more money, with the exception of they're going to spend 8,500, which is more money than they're spending now for their retirement to enjoy. And I'm showing them how they will have a better chance of enjoying it if they do this. Tony, okay, hold on. Left pocket to right pocket. Perfect, Richard. Spot on. Left pocket to right pocket. Still in your pocket. Tony, the annuities, life, etc. That's part of the future, if that's your question. Okay.
That was mine. That was the other person's. But yeah, that's why I call it simply intelligent financial positioning, because a lot of times you don't have to spend more. You're just moving it. You're reallocating it.
There you go.
You're not spending any more. It's a beautiful thing when you know where
I
to
like
move it to.
Yeah, I like what Richard put it, left pocket to right pocket, or
Yeah, I like that too. I got to move it.
That was good. I'm going to steal that, Tony. I mean, borrow it, of course. Okay. Now, this happens. I wanted to bring up, let's say you're doing an annuity, a GIA is an example, guaranteed income annuity, and it's got an increasing rider feature. So the amount is going to increase. Currently on our software, please forgive me, and we are working on it. Now, this one I'm not going to say it's going to be there by Labor Day, but sooner or later it'll be there, where when you put it in, you will be able to account for the increase. Right now, you can't. There's a workaround. So give me a minute here. Why did I do that? In a second. All right. There we go. All right. So here's the workaround. Give me a second. Keep it simple. Let's say they got $1 million, and you are like, and they want to spend. I gotta find an amount here. Give me a second. They want to spend $8,000 in retirement, as well as currently. Now, maybe they don't really want to change it, but you want to be able to show them what would happen. Perfect. All right. So they're currently making 100,000. They're going to work in this case for 20 more years. That all of this isn't so much important as I want to be able to show you the workaround. Actually, it kind of is, because you're not going to do this for somebody who is. So let's say whether they're retired or not, And let me change this to say 5,000 and let me run it. There's a method to my madness, folks. All right. Yeah, okay. All right. So let me give you the parameters. Say we got a 65-year-old single person and they got $1 million and they are going to get 2,000 from Social Security. Hold on. And you're running it. Let me see what the parameters are here. Okay. Let's be go higher. And you want to show them, hey, what it would be like if they did guaranteed income annuity with an increase. So what you do is this. Obviously, this is their situation. So you run it, and maybe you tweak the goal, which is spending, and you see that, hey, currently, if they keep going the way they're going, spending 6,500, they've got a 65% chance of making it to 95. All right, it's simple. And maybe this doesn't work out right. I'm simply going to show you how to do it. Okay. But let's say you're going to take half of it, 500,000, and it's going to generate an income of 50,000 a year. I'm just picking numbers, all right? Fine. So what you do is this. Change this to 500,000. Because if you're taking 500,000, it's coming in now. Okay. If you're taking 500,000 of it, it kind of doesn't exist anymore. And now, though, I'm going to add an income. I'll call it other. And it's going to be, say, 40,000 a year. All right, 400. There you go. Now, because I put it in income, I remember under tax settings, I had COLAs. So I've got a 3% COLA there. And maybe that's perfect. And that's all you need. So you're like, perfect, no problem. I hit save, I hit calculate. Remember, when I did it before, the full million was 65%. Now it's 100. So what you do, so let me revisit this. It was $1 million and you didn't have the 40,000. When you ran it under current destination, it was 65%. What you do is you save that. Then you go back in, change the million to 500,000, put in the income, and I just randomly picked 40,000. Hit save, calculate, plan results, 100,000. You save that, and you're going to put them up side by side. And that's the workaround. If you have an annuity you want to show as a guaranteed income annuity with a increasing rider. Now, we're doing this here. When you have it happen, who are you going to call? And if someone says Ghostbusters, so help me God, you're going to hear from me. Basically, what you want to do when you're doing it, you're like, what did Scott do again? Call me, we'll get on, we'll walk it through, and I'll show you what to do. Please explain the tax savings page. Reduction, the taxpayer. Is this what you meant when you meant,
Yes.
okay. So here's the numbers underneath. Remember in my training, I said you could have one, potentially two cherries on top. You know how I joked, I said, this is the cake, the icing, the everything, the bomb. Don't say that in an airport. Underneath it shows that, hey, if they keep going the way they're going with their assets, the way they're positioned, in 10 years, their assets are worth 1,591,000. In 20 years, 1161. In 30 years, 527 and change. And between now and if you ran it to age 100 or 95, it's saying whatever age you ran it to, this is how much total tax you will pay, of which Social Security is this much of it. So Social Security is 147, but it's included in the 580. All right. However, if you follow the prescription, in 10 years, here is how much your assets are worth. Ooh, down a little bit. And there's an explanation for that. I'll go into that in a little bit. Here's what it's worth in 20 years. Better. Here's what it's worth in 30 years. Gnarly. That's for my California people. And here, in either to age 95 or 100, whatever we ran it for, is how much you will pay total in taxes. And of that 418, 106 was Social Security. You saved, or rather, by doing it, you saved 161,000 and change in taxes between today and age 95. Not spoiler alert. Don't know if it's coming by Labor Day, but we will be. You see how this is 10, 20, and 30 years? Taxes, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do 10, 20, and 30 years. You can see the difference. This is through age, I think 95 is what I read, which is fine, but as long as you know. So hopefully that answers your question. Why don't we have an annuity option as opposed to other? Because I'm a nasty person. No, we are working on that, as adding that. But like I said earlier, when you go in, if you what we're going to be doing is allowing for free form. So if you have anything that is well, it doesn't matter, as other, you'll be able to free form what it is and write in such and such annuity, just so you know. All right, so that is coming. I did that. Corey, hey Corey, how are you, by the way? Can you send us a copy of this? Yeah, I'm recording it. So we'll get a recording version of it. Means you have to listen to me again and again and again. Hey, I'm used to not in Michigan. That wasn't funny. Anyway, good to see you, by the way, Corey. I'm glad you are. What else did I have that I wanted to go through here? I already went through that. Are there any questions, by the way? You're asking them in the chat box, which is great and perfect.
Hey, Scott?
But, yeah.
On that previous example where you were taking like 500,000 and turning into like 40,000 of annual guaranteed income, were you doing that as a future adjustment? So it's like the before and after?
No. Since if you look in future adjustments, if you do that at FIA, guaranteed income, let's say I use this, let's say I'm doing whatever it is, you'll notice you can put in a premium bonus, years of deferral, a hypothetical return, meaningless, a base roll-up rate, benefit-based bonus, and the payout factor. But nowhere there does it allow you to put in an increase. So whatever that payout factor, so let's say it's 100,000 and the payout factor is 10%, simple number. That's $10,000, which means it's always going to be 10,000. Now we are working on it, so you'll be able to have an increase in feature. What I just showed you was a workaround. So, you know, nothing's perfect. So remember, they've got $1 million. Show you again. Cost basis $1 million. They don't have anything. They got that. They're going to have Social Security. Oh, that was gross. Of 2,000. We ran it to 2,053. They want to spend $6,500 a month. David, you haven't done any future adjustment. You don't need to because you're showing them what it would be using a GIA, and you can't put that in future adjustment. So plan results shows, hey, you don't do anything, you've got a 64% chance of making it to age 95. So far, so good, David?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I go back, and what I would do is I'd save that typing tool, whatever, or download it, whatever you want to do. And then I go back and I change it, and I'm saying I'm going to take $500,000. Now that $500,000 is going to throw off an income. You can put it annual of, I don't know, I'm just making up a number, 40,000, and obviously it's for the rest of their life. Now under current, it's 100%. I'm going to use the sniping tool and save that and be able to show them side by side what the difference is. That's the workaround. Do you get that?
Yep. So by doing it this way, then you can basically it's taken into an account an increase in that income over time.
Yes, here's why. Because under tax settings, you have COLAs. All righty. So all you have is Social Security in this other thing. If the increase is 3%, then you're good. You're fine. You leave it. Because remember, this COLA, don't forget, this COLA is for any income other than Social Security, for like payroll or other or pensions, which is why we're adding a pension one. And I'll get to that in a moment too. And SS COLA specifically for Social Security. Now, if you're not confused thoroughly by now, let me help you get more confused. What if the increase is 5%? What do? Here's another workaround. And don't forget, everybody, I'm going through this and you're going, what the heck is he doing? You're not alone. Call me. We'll zoom in quick and I'll show you what to do. All righty? You don't have to be alone. I mean, if you want to be, go ahead, but you don't have to be alone. What happens if it's 5%? And you're like, crap, I don't want the expenses to go up or the goals, the spending to go up by 5%. So what do? Here's what you do. Change Social Security to other. Change other to Social Security. So now this 40,000, you're calling it Social Security. I'm going to change the tax rate to 100. Here, I'm going to make it 85. I've reversed it. This is really the Social Security. This is really the income. But now, since I've got it under Social Security and Social Security has its own COLA, I can make this 5%. And it'll only impact this. If your head hasn't exploded yet, I understand. But again, please reach out. I'm happy to help. I'll show you. After you do it once or twice, you'll go, I get it, no problem. Which then takes me to the question, what if you have and I was going to talk about this, we're going, as I said, have a third COLA for pensions. What if you have a pension now, and a lot of pensions don't have a COLA? It stays the way it is, right? What do? Same thing. All the pension, let's presume this was the pension, this was Social Security, and this was the pension. And I've got COLAs of 3%. By the way, as an aside, just so everybody knows, Social Security, you go back to 1975, I did the research on this, which is when they first started doing COLAs in 1975. You check yourself if you want. And you look at all of their COLAs from then till now, even with the years, there were some years that were 0, but from then till now, their COLAs average 3.5%. All right. And you're doing it at 3. But let's say you got a pension, and that 40,000 is always going to be 40,000. What you can do is this: call it Social Security, change this to other. Now you got 3% there, and then Social Security, you can make it 0. So you see what I did? The pension, I called Social Security. Social Security, I'm not drunk, I swear. Social Security has its own pension, its own COLA. So for now, as a workaround, I'm calling the pension Social Security, I'm changing it to 0. Now it'll be accurate. Of course, from Labor Day, when pension has its own COLA, problem solved. Those are how you do the 2 workarounds. If I went fast, I apologize. I really did.
Hey, Scott, fix your microphone.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, my apologies. And also, I know I'm saying it all again and again and again, but I just want to reiterate, call me and I will help you do it, make life easy for you. And then once you do it once or twice, you'll be a pro. And then when you do it, you say, Scott, I did it. Would you take a look, make sure I did it right? I'm happy to do it. All right. So John, hey, John from Alabama. Unusual name, but that's cool. Why was the amount lower after 5 years on the previous exam? I'll tell you why. Whenever you click calculate, you are doing a brand new Monte Carlo simulation, which leads me to the next thing. We are working on something, don't know when it'll come, where you can make changes, but it won't do a calculation again. So when you do whenever you hit calculate, it does a brand new calculation. So the numbers and those percentages could be a little different. DG again, DG, any chance to add a feature allowing to save multiple scenarios? Great question. We're already on that. That is something that by Labor Day, let's put it this way. I'm saying Labor Day. I don't know if it'll be before or after, but it'll be close. So I'm using Labor Day as the benchmark. Whenever I say that, let's put it this way. I'm not saying Labor Day and it'll be Christmas, hopefully. But what's going to happen is you're going to be able to save multiple versions of this for the same person. Because right now, if you wanted to do another version, what you have to do is save it via roadmap report and then go back in and make your changes. In the future, you could save it and then just do another version, save it, and under that person, you'll see multiple versions. That is coming. That is, as Arnold will say, that's a big one. But it is coming. And that it is a big one. When I click Chuck sheet, when I click on plan results, future, hey, by the way, hi Chuck. When I click on plan results, future destination is not there. If future destination is not there and you're only seeing current, have you done any future adjustments? Because you're not going to, future destination will, you got it? Is that okay? Good. Yeah, if you haven't done any future adjustments, you're not going to see a future destination will be grayed out. It won't even work. You won't see it. Okay. Did I miss something? No. All righty. Keep those questions coming. Another thing, future adjustments. In Roth conversion, let's say I wanted to, let me go back up here for a second. Let's say we got the million. And instead of it's non-qualified, let's say it's at a IRA. Okay. And I'm going to save that. And I go into future adjustments and I want to do a Roth conversion.
Did you text you yet? Okay, because I want to know.
Okay. I'll let you know as soon as I can. Let's say you want to do a Roth conversion. You want that Roth conversion to go into an FIA as a volatility buffer. Right now, you can either do a Roth conversion or a volatility buffer. Yes, I know that sucks. Okay, I'm just the messenger here. But guess what's coming? Take a wild guess what's coming by Labor Day. You will be able to do a Roth conversion directly into an FIA as a volatility buffer. Mind blown. Okay, that is coming. But right now, you can either put it here as say let's say you want to put 500,000 into a volatility buffer, blah, 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 750%. That'd be nice. All right, you can, but then it's still a pre-tax item. Or you could put it here, say over 5 years, I want to do 100,000 a year. Leave it 640 is not the point. You can do that. But the problem is it's either in one place or the other. It's not both. Here, you'll be able to do a Roth conversion into a volatility buffer. So that is coming. Another thing coming. You have another thing coming. Very important, and this is another big one. So I'm not going to say it though. How many times do we, hold on, let me show you. All right. Remember in training, I've said, always look at summary cash flow. Maybe is there any excess income? In this case, there's not. That's fine. But in so many cases, in fact, over here, I remember what I've always told you. You want to look at summary cash flow under current destination. So here, yeah, look at that. There's 24,000 of excess. They got 100 coming in. between outflows. And remember, what's outflows? Spending and taxes. That's it. So between spending and taxes, they still have 24,000 left. Well, wouldn't it be not? And I've always said, I know that all of you could probably do something with that 24,000. Well, guess what? What's going to come in, should be by Labor Day, is you will be able to go into future adjustments and either in an FIA, volatility buffer, or life insurance, put money in either or both using that excess income. Thumbs up on that, huh? No?
Yeah.
I love you, Tony. Tony's from Texas, by the way. Don't mess with her. But that's another thing that's coming. There's actually several more. I can't remember them off the top of my head. Some of them are stuff you probably may not care about, but many of them, as you've seen, will be very, very helpful. Any other questions that I can answer? Okay, well, as I always like to say when I'm about done, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. One thing I want to make sure everybody, and if there was a takeaway from today, it is, and this is very important to me. I really try to live what to live, to talk, to walk the walk as well as talking. If you need help, call me, text me, email me. There are times that, like if I'm on a Zoom and I actually know somebody texted me, I just can't do it right now, but I really want to help. I will get back to you unless it's Pello, who I clearly let down. But, please. And, as many of you on here will attest, it could be 7 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock at night. If you text or call me and you need help, I'll help you if I can. If I'm in the middle of something I can't, I'll let you know. But if I can, I absolutely will.